Hello students, welcome to the lecture on pricing decision, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Understand concept of pricing, explain price and non-price competition, define factors affecting pricing decisions, discuss pricing methods, describe demand-based pricing, explain other pricing strategies, discuss pricing strategies, and define economic feasibility of differential pricing. Concept of pricing. Let us start with the concept of pricing. Organizations producing goods and services need to set the price for their product. Setting the price for an organization's product is one of the most important decisions a manager faces. Cost is one of the major considerations in price determination of the product. It is one of the three major factors which influence racing decision. The two other factors are customers and competitors. Customer. In a situation where the product has many substitutes, customers decide the price. That is, the demand of customers is the paramount importance in setting the price of the product. Similarly, under competitive condition, price is determined by market forces, and an individual firm or an individual customer cannot influence the price. Competitors. When there are only few players in the market, competitors usually react to the price changes, and therefore pricing decisions are influenced by the possible reaction of competitors. Cost. Cost is the third major factor. Its role in price setting varies widely among industries. Some industries determine price by market forces, and in some industries, managers set prices on the basis of production costs. Firms want to charge a price that covers its costs, like production costs, distribution costs, and costs related with selling the product, and also including a fair return for its effort. Objectives of pricing policy. Formulation of pricing policy begins with the classification of the basic objectives of the firm. Pricing objectives have to be in conformity with overall organizational objectives. In most of the situation, profit maximization is the main objective of price policy, but it is only one objective. Following may be other objectives of pricing policy in an organization. Pricing the goods based on reasonable costs, increase the market share or growth rate at the expense of immediate profits, avoid adverse public reaction consequent on charging high price, ethical consideration not to reap high profit, immediate survival of the firm, charge reasonable price so as to have good relations with government and public at large. Maximization of prestige of the firm rather than profit, and to safeguard against the emergence of new producers in same line. Factors affecting pricing decisions. I hope you understood what we discussed right now. Let us move further and study about the factors affecting pricing decisions. The factors affecting the price are marketing objectives. There are four major objectives on which prices are determined. They are survival, current profit maximization, market share leadership, and product quality leadership. Survival strategy adopted when company is facing stiff competition from the competitors and it wants quick reaction and recovery. Current profit maximization strategy is used to defend the market position. Company reduces the price of the product so that more number of customers buy the product. Through volume generation, company gets the market leadership position. Product quality leadership objective is used when company decides to come with high quality product and premium price. The intention of the company is to cater to the needs of the niche segment. Costs. The cost of marketing and promoting the product will have direct impact on the price. company will be incurring fixed cost, plant, machinery, etc., as well as variable cost, raw material, labor, etc. The total cost, fixed cost plus variable cost, vary according to both fixed cost and variable cost. The break-even point for a product is the point where total revenue received equals the total costs associated with the sale of the product. TR is equal to TC. A break-even point is typically calculated for businesses to determine whether it would be profitable to sell a proposed product as opposed to attempting to modify an existing product instead so it can be made lucrative. P's of marketing. The price of the product is determined by the other marketing mix elements also. Product influences the price level. That is, if the product quality is very high, company would like to price it high and vice versa. The new product requires aggressive promotion and results in higher promotion cost and higher price. Nature of the market and demand. The price determination depends on the nature of the market also. The nature of the market is classified into following categories. Perfect competition. The nature of the market where many buyers and sellers exist. Each seller is selling the same product, and if the seller charges more for the product, then buyer will shift to another seller. Usually in these type of market, companies should set their prices according to the competition. Monopolistic competition. The nature of the market where many buyers and sellers exist. The difference between perfect competition and monopolistic competition is, in case of latter, prices for the products vary according to the differentiation, whereas in case of former, there is only one price exists. In case of monopolistic competition, prices are fixed by the gap in the product line of all competitors and level of differentiation the company is able to do. Oligopolistic competition. The market consists of few players and dominant in the market. They do not allow new players to enter the market. They are price sensitive to each other. Monopoly. Here, market consists of one seller. A British railway has monopoly over the railway industry in England. It is able to sell its products and services at the determined rates. Competition. Price is also determined by how intense the competition is in the industry. Environmental factors. These external factors are very crucial for the company's price decisions. The impact of macro and micro environment on the company's strategy. For example, in the union budget, tax on cigarette is increased. Hence, company that manufactures cigarette should increase the price. The increase in the price is determined by the government environment, which is external to the company. Pricing methods. To understand the concept of pricing, it is important to know the methods of pricing. So in this section, we will study about the pricing methods. For your pricing strategy, now you need some way to crunch the actual numbers. Here are the ways to calculate prices. Cost plus pricing. Set the price at your production cost, including both cost of goods and fixed cost at your current volume, plus a certain profit margin. Target return pricing. Set your price to achieve a target return on investment ROI. Value-based pricing. Price your product based on the value it creates for the customer. This is usually the most profitable form of pricing if you can achieve it. The most extreme variation on this is pay for performance pricing for services, in which you charge on a variable scale according to the results you achieve. Psychological pricing. Ultimately, you must take into consideration the consumer's perceptions of your price, figuring things like positioning. If we want to be the low-cost leader, we must be priced lower than your competition. If we want to signal high quality, we should probably be priced higher than most of your competition. Popular price points. There are certain price points, specific prices, at which people become much more willing to buy a certain type of product. Dropping your price to a popular price point might mean a lower margin, but more than enough increase in sales to offset it. Fair pricing. Sometimes it simply does not matter what the value of the product is, even if you do not have any direct competition. There is simply a limit to what consumers perceive as fair. Demand-based pricing. I hope you understood what we just discussed. Now we will move further and discuss about the demand-based pricing. Demand-based pricing uses consumer demand and therefore perceived value to set a price of a good or service. Value-based pricing, aka value-optimized pricing, sets prices primarily on the perceived or estimated value to the customer rather than on the cost of the product, the market price, competitors' prices, or historical prices. The goal of value-based pricing is to align the price with the value of the product. Price skimming is a pricing strategy in which a marketer sets a relatively high price for a product or service at first and then lowers the price over time. It is a temporal version of price discrimination yield management. Price discrimination or price differentiation exists when sales of identical goods or services are transacted at different prices from the same provider. Yield management is the process of understanding, anticipating, and influencing consumer behavior in order to maximize yield or profits from a fixed, perishable resource such as airline seats or hotel room reservations. Psychological pricing or price ending is a marketing practice based on the theory that certain prices have a psychological impact. The retail prices are often expressed as odd prices, a little less than a round number. Example, 1000 INR. Product bundling is a marketing strategy that involves offering several products for sale as one combined product. This strategy is very common in the software business. Example, bundle a word processor, a spreadsheet, and a database into a single office suite. Penetration pricing is the pricing technique of setting a relatively low initial entry price, often lower than the eventual market price, to attract new customers. Value-based pricing or value-optimized pricing is a business strategy. It sets prices primarily, but not exclusively, on the value perceived or estimated to the customer rather than on the cost of the product, the market price, competitors' prices, or historical prices. Competitive-based pricing. Competitive-based pricing occurs when a company sets a price for its good based on what competitors are selling a similar product for. If competitors are pricing their products at a lower price, then it is up to the company to either price their goods at a higher or lower price, all depending on what they want to achieve. One advantage of competitive-based pricing is that it avoids price competition that can damage the company. Potential disadvantages include that businesses may need to engage in other tactics to engage customers if the price is not enough of an incentive. Another concern for companies is that this pricing method may barely cover production costs, resulting in low profits. Other pricing strategies. Apart from demand-based pricing, there are other pricing strategies also. In this section, we will study about the other pricing strategies. One pricing strategy does not fit all. Thus, adapting various pricing strategies to new scenarios is necessary for a firm to stay viable. Cost plus pricing is the simplest pricing method. The firm calculates the cost of producing the product, and adds on a percentage profit to that price to give the selling price. Dynamic pricing allows online companies to adjust the prices of identical goods to correspond to a customer's willingness to pay. The airline industry is often cited as a success story. Most of the passengers on any given airplane have paid different ticket prices for the same flight. Non-price competition means that organizations use strategies other than price to attract customers. Advertising, credit, delivery, displays, private brands, and convenience are all examples of tools used in non-price competition. Marketing mix. A business tool used in marketing products, often crucial when determining a product or brand's unique selling point. Often synonymous with the 4 P's: price, product, promotion, and place. Economies of scale. The cost advantages that an enterprise obtains due to expansion. As the scale of output is increased, factors such as facility size and usage levels of inputs cause the producer's average cost per unit to fall. Competitive-based pricing occurs when a company sets a price for its good based on what competitors are selling a similar product for. Pricing strategies. Before we get to the actual pricing models, here are some of the factors that you need to consider. Positioning. How are you positioning your product in the market? Is pricing going to be a key part of that positioning? If we are running a discount store, we are always going to be trying to keep your prices as low as possible as, or at least lower than your competitors. The pricing has to be consistent with the positioning. People really do hold strongly to the idea that you get what you pay for. Demand curve. How will your pricing affect demand? We are going to have to do some basic market research to find this out, even if it is informal. Get 10 people to answer a simple questionnaire asking them, would you buy this product service at X price, Y price, Z price? Cost. Calculate the fixed and variable costs associated with your product or service. How much is the cost of goods? That is, a cost associated with each item sold or service delivered, and how much is fixed overhead cost? Environmental factors. Are there any legal or other constraints on pricing? For example, in some cities, towing fees from auto accidents are set at a fixed price by law. Short-term profit maximization. This approach is common in companies that are bootstrapping, as cash flow is the overriding consideration. It is also common among smaller companies hoping to attract venture funding by demonstrating profitability as soon as possible. Short-term revenue maximization. This approach seeks to maximize long-term profits by increasing market share and lowering costs through economy of scale. Maximize quantity. There are a couple of possible reasons to choose the strategy. It may be to focus on reducing long-term costs by achieving economies of scale. This approach might be used by a company well funded by its founders and other close investors. Maximize profit margin. This strategy is most appropriate when the number of sales is either expected to be very low or sporadic and unpredictable. Examples include custom jewelry, art, handmade automobiles, and other luxury items. Differentiation. At one extreme, being the low-cost leader is a form of differentiation from the competition. At the other end, a high price signals high quality and/or a high level of service. Some people really do order lobster just because it is the most expensive thing on the menu. Survival. In certain situations, such as a price war, market decline, or market saturation, you must temporarily set a price that will cover costs and allow you to continue operations. Economic feasibility of differential pricing. Now let us move further and study about the economic feasibility of differential pricing. Differential pricing can be in the interests of both consumers in poor countries and manufacturers while not adversely affecting consumers in richer countries and maintaining incentives for research and development. It was noted that a number of conditions have to be in place in order for differential pricing to be feasible. One is that the fixed costs of the producer have to be substantial in relation to marginal production costs, and the producer must have the necessary degree of market power to be able to allocate those fixed costs differentially between different consumers. A second condition is that differential pricing requires market segmentation. It was pointed out that this entails prevention of leakage of low-priced products into high-priced markets, a technical issue, and a readiness to accept sustained price differences by consumers in high-income markets, a political issue. Promotional pricing. Promotional pricing, also known as marketing price promotion or penetration pricing, is a cost-setting strategy in consumer marketing. It involves reducing the price of a product or service temporarily to attract customers and develop loyalty for increased future revenue and profit. Purpose. This strategy is meant to attract attention to a product, brand, or retailer. The idea is to use the appeal of low cost to let consumers know that a seller, label, or item exists. Users. Both retailers and manufacturers use promotional pricing. With manufacturers, promotional pricing alerts the consumer to a specific line of services or products and provides a platform to introduce a brand. Method. The application of promotional pricing is relatively simple. Retailers and manufacturers first come to the conclusion that more attention is needed on a label, item, or company. They then look at the typical market value of the item or service. They calculate how much of a discount they can afford and decide how long the discount is feasible to apply. Once management approves the promotional price, marketers use standard marketing techniques such as print ads to alert consumers of the discount. Sustainability. Whenever this method is in practice, a major key is that the discount selected is almost never financially sustainable. Products and services often are at or below cost or part of a buy one get one free offer. Retailers and manufacturers expect that any loss they experience from the promotional pricing will be recouped by the future sales gained by new loyal customers. Frequency. Financial sustainability aside, pricing items at a promotional rate cannot be done with extreme frequency. Repeated promotions may cause customers to anticipate lower pricing. When the retailer or manufacturer raises the cost back up to the normal level, consumers might feel that the regular price is too high and refuse to buy unless they are shown there is something significant about the product or service. Flaws. Promotional pricing assumes that the discounted price will align with the current need that the consumer has. This is not necessarily the case. During promotional events, retailers and manufacturers have to make some estimates about how consumers will receive the special offers. They sometimes do not make accurate predictions, however. If a mistake means that the manufacturer or retailer cannot meet the consumer's expectations, customers can be upset and turned off. The promotion ends up having the opposite of the desired effect. Summary. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learnt in this lecture. Setting the price for an organization's product is one of the most important decisions a manager faces. When there are only few players in the market, Competitors usually react to the price changes, and therefore pricing decisions are influenced by the possible reaction of competitors. Price determination is a very important aspect of strategic planning. Marketers fix the price of the product on the basis of cost, demand, or competition. Demands for the product vary according to the price set. Generally, customers think that higher the prices, better the quality of the product, and lower the price, lower the quality of the price. Promotional pricing assumes that the discounted price will align with the current need that the consumer has.